A rising powerhouse in the West, a young core bursting with talent, and a front office known for playing 4D chess. The Oklahoma City Thunder was building something special, but unfortunately for them, they may have just shaken their whole foundation. The Thunder just handed Chet Holmgren a 5-year, $250 million bag, and everyone's acting like it's a slam dunk. But behind the hype, there's something off about this move.
Edwards to McDaniels. McDaniels on the drive to spin the layup, blocked by Holmgren.
Something that OKC fans aren't ready to talk about. This could be the deal that turns a dynasty in the making into a disaster. If you're not afraid of the truth, hit that subscribe button, because we're about to break it all down. Okay, let's start by unpacking why OKC pulled this trigger. First off, we're talking about a 7'1" unicorn with a modern skill set. Chet Holmgren is not just tall, he's versatile. He protects the rim like he owns it, and shoots it with range that stretches defenses, creating breathing room for slashers like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams. He's the prototype for today's two-way big man. Now let's talk numbers. Over his first 2 seasons, Chet has averaged 16.1 points, 7.9 rebounds, and 2.3 blocks per game. Those aren't exactly $50 million a year numbers. On offense, he's knocking down threes at a respectable clip and finishing lob passes like it's routine. On defense, he alters shots even when he doesn't block them, anchoring OKC's top-tier unit. His presence has been game-changing, turning away shots like a bouncer at a club. Now, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. General Manager Presti isn't just making moves, he's laying foundations. He already extended SGA on a 4-year, $285 million deal. Now, Chet gets 5 years worth up to $250 million with incentives. Jalen is probably next in line for a max extension.
Gilgeous-Alexander falling away. Rebound Wallace, another offensive board. Jalen Williams puts in a 3.
That means OKC's core, all under 26, will be locked in for the long haul. Now, the plot twist is that none of these extensions impact OKC's records until the 2026-27 season. That means, for 2025-26, the Thunder still benefit from rookie-scale bargains. They're not boxed in financially. Instead, they have the flexibility to add veterans, retain depth pieces, or even trade for one more all-star level contributor if needed. But it's not just about money, it's about culture. Holmgren, SGA, and J-Dub have chemistry. They're all humble, hungry, and unselfish. So there's already a cross on locker room drama and ego battles. That's the kind of environment teams dream of. So this was not a panic move or a gamble. It was a preemptive strike before the league catches up. Chet's deal might look expensive now, but in 2 years, it could be a bargain. But it's not all fun and games, because some analysts are side-eyeing this move. So let's walk through some of the major red flags surrounding this early extension. The talent is definitely undeniable, but Chet Holmgren's injury history is already throwing up red flags. He missed his entire rookie season after suffering a Liz Frank injury in his right foot during a Pro-Am game. A serious injury that often requires surgery and months of recovery. Then, just as he began showing flashes of brilliance, he missed around 50 games last season due to a hip fracture, a particularly troubling injury for a 7'1" player with such a slender frame. At 208 pounds, Chet is still one of the lightest centers in the league relative to his height. That's a unique build that gives him mobility, but also raises durability concerns. Analysts worry that his long, lanky frame could make him more prone to contact injuries or wear and tear over time. It's not just about missing games, it's about whether he will be able to maintain peak form across a full 82-game season, let alone a playoff run. The Thunder had 1 full season left on Chet's rookie-scale contract. They were not in any danger of losing him to free agency anytime soon. By choosing to extend him now, they have essentially paid top dollar early for a player who's still developing. NBA analyst Brian Wright and others have raised eyebrows at the timing, especially when Chet has not made an All-NBA team, been selected as an All-Star, or even played 70 games in a season. The Oklahoma City GM clearly believes in betting on the upside, but but some feel he could have waited to see how Chet performs in a full, healthy season, especially given the salary cap rise expected in 2026. Chet's skill set is modern and rare. Rim protection, shooting touch, court vision, but through 114 games out of a possible 246, we have only seen glimpses of what he could become.
Holmgren fakes. Little out of control, got it back, hangs on, flips it up, count it!
While he has averaged around 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 blocks per game, which are solid numbers, his consistency is still in question. During the 2024 playoffs, Chet was efficient but not dominant. His numbers dipped slightly in key moments, and at times he looked overwhelmed by bigger, more physical matchups. That's not to say he won't grow, but it is definitely a warning sign. If he doesn't evolve into an anchor with elite defense, his contract may start to look less like a smart investment and more like a Ben Simmons situation. Now, moving on to the dominoes of doubt, because while the Oklahoma City Thunder are cooking now, they might be planting the seeds for long-term problems. With Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Chet Holmgren both locked into massive deals, the Thunder are already carrying 2 of the largest contracts projected in the upcoming salary cap cycles. That's a lot of financial weight on just 2 players, especially when you factor in Jalen Williams, who's expected to command a hefty extension soon, possibly in the $45 to $50 million per year range. This means the core trio will soon eat up the majority of the Thunder's salary cap space, and once you hit that stage, the breathing room quite literally disappears. Even with the NBA's rising gap, flexibility doesn't stretch forever. Sure, the Thunder have made solid moves around the edges. They have secured Isaiah Hartenstein and Lou Dort, both on manageable contracts for team options. That's smart business. Those 2 offer defense, rebounding, and high motor play.
As Booker at the step, help defense came over, met him at the top.
But once the big 3 extensions kick in fully around the 2026-27 season, even team-friendly deals like Dort's become harder to retain or replace. The Thunder's model is built around development and internal growth, but there are major what-if scenarios to worry about. What if Chet never becomes one of the true offensive centerpieces? What if he levels out as a defensive role player? Or, the worst-case scenario, Holmgren becomes untradeable. If his production doesn't match his pay and his contract becomes too big to offload or absorb, he turns from a core asset into a liability. OKC might have sacrificed flexibility. The Thunder's front office has been praised for its draft brilliance and asset hoarding, but long-term contention depends on more than upside. It depends on value. So the question is, did Presti lock in a dynasty or a dangerous financial funnel? But what if it all pays off? What if Chet Holmgren blossoms into exactly what scouts promised? A defensive player of the year contender with a freakish 2-way skill set who becomes a top-tier rim protector and a legitimate scoring threat, averaging 25 points, 10 rebounds, and more than 2 blocks per game. In this version of the future, Holmgren is elite. He stretches the floor with his shooting, tilts the ball in transition, and moves like a guard in a 7-foot frame. Coaches scheme around him, and opposing teams fear him. Suddenly, those unicorn comparisons don't feel so exaggerated. He's not just a part of the core, he is the anchor of a dynamic OKC squad.
Chet Holmgren drives, puts it up and in. That's a difficult shot with Turner right on top of it.
But let's not pretend this move comes without danger. This was not just a player-friendly deal. It was a massive public signal that OKC is betting the house on Holmgren. Sure, the upside is tantalizing, but the floor? It's low. If Chet suffers another major injury, especially to that same foot, or even if he simply plateaus into a limited role player who can't carry major minutes in crunch time, that contract starts to look like dead weight. We are all just watching the gamble unfold in real time. The Thunder are trying to build a dynasty, and this extension is either brilliant foresight or a reckless overcommitment. So, did the Thunder make a genius move to secure their core early? Or is it a massive overpay that'll haunt OKC for years? And if you're a Thunder fan, be honest. Does this move worry you even a little bit? Drop your take in the comments and subscribe to our channel for more NBA content every week.